Michael Bisping disagrees with critics who say Jon Jones should vacate UFC Heavyweight Title. Jones got injured while training for UFC 295. This has led to some people think Jones should give up the title to keep the division moving. However, Bisping had a different take on the situation. Here is what he said. When people get injured, they bring in interim belts. People don't get stripped, generally, they bring in interim belts. So, I don't know why all of a sudden Jon Jones of all people, the greatest of all time, why should the rules not apply to the greatest of all time? If anything, they should definitely apply. So, anybody that thinks he should be stripped, they're talking out of their backside. They don't know what they are talking about. Merab Dvalishvili, the number 2 bantamweight contender, isn't surprised that Vera got the title shot against Sean O'Malley. Even though Dvalishvili has won 9 fights in a row and beaten 2 former champions, he didn't get the title shot. Instead, UFC chose to give the title shot to Vera, who is ranked 6th in the division. Here is what Merab said about the situation. It's crazy. I win 9 fights straight, I'd beat 2 former champions, and I still don't get a title shot. The timing, right? Now O'Malley's champion. In my opinion, they want to keep him as long as possible as champion. I think I'm a bad stylistic match for him. I mean, in my opinion, I can beat him because styles make fights. I think that's what they're thinking too. Because if UFC think I'm easy, I'm sure they would give me to O'Malley. They want to keep him long. It's not a secret, O'Malley makes money. If I beat O'Malley, who's gonna sell pay-per-views? I think that's how it goes. I understand. They are smart. The fighter's remarks reveal that the UFC is focused on making money and being popular in the sport. Even though Dvalishvili is unhappy about the decision, he understands that the promotional side of the sport plays a big role in deciding matchups. Paul Craig talked about the current pound-for-pound rankings and how Islam Makhachev has become the top-ranked. Craig agreed with Makhachev being at the top, but also mentioned that some people have mixed feelings about Russian fighting styles. Here is what he said. I do believe so. I know a lot of people don't like the style of the Russians because it's so dominating. They just take people down and just imposing their will, but it's working and he's not taking a lot of damage and he's imposing his will on everybody he's been up against. There's only one guy that I would maybe put in front of him, and that would be Jon Jones, but pound for him, yep. As Makhachev keeps doing well in the lightweight division, the argument about the pound-for-pound rankings will probably heat up. Fans and fighters will keep sharing their views on whether Makhachev's strong performance should make him the best, or if other fighters, such as Jon Jones, should be considered first in the pound-for-pound talk. Dana White has changed his mind about who gets a title shot in the middleweight division. He first said the winner of Khamzat Chimaev vs. Kamaru Usman would get it. But now it seems like he changed his mind because Chimaev didn't do so well against the former welterweight champion. Dan Hooker is pleased with this change and openly supports Dana White's decision to give Dricus du Plessis the opportunity instead. Here is what he said. I wanted this fight. I think most people were thinking Chimaev, but after his performance, like it was such a close fight against a welterweight guy taking it on short notice, it didn't really get the fans excited. I feel like du Plessis coming off a win over Rob, which is the number 1 contender, the best guy head and shoulders in the division. To get a win over him, definitely had to earn you a title shot, so yeah, this is the matchup I wanted to see, and I'm glad that Dana White listened to me when I told him to put this fight together, and now we have it. Fans are eager for the middleweight title fight, curious if du Plessis can seize this opportunity and get the title. Dana White's choice to focus on performance rather than expectations before the fight shows his dedication to giving UFC fans the most exciting matchups. In a highly anticipated matchup at UFC 298 on February 17th, featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski will face off against rising star Illia Topuria. Fans have been eagerly waiting for this match, which was originally set for January but got moved to February. Volkanovski is confident and ready for the challenge. Even though the champ sees the young fighter's talent, he's confident that his own skills and knowledge of the game will be too much for Topuria to handle. Here is what he said. "He's a powerful dude, he's good everywhere. He's not one-dimensional, he's good, obviously very well-rounded. I just believe my skills and my understanding of the game, it's just going to be that little bit too much for him. He's a young, hungry dude. Undefeated, very, very confident, but I think he needs a little bit of humbling, so I'm glad to be the man to do that." Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of MMA, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss an update. Also leave a comment below with your thoughts on today's news. Keep supporting the sport, and we'll see you in the next one.